Like, hello, what happened to the pop-off? This is the perfect time for the pop-off. So I'm not a vampire girly, but if you make them black, maybe I am. I feel like I have like a mullet. I like vengeance. Okay, let me go. Hi, yeah, I'm at the library and I thought I was about to do some schoolwork. My laptop's dead. But I guess I have 2 hours to kill before I have to go to physical therapy. So I have my Kindle and I started reading Our Vicious Oaths today on here. I think I'm on like chapter 4. It's getting good. Like, there are like 2 sides, or like, yeah, they're like 2 sides, I guess, like 2 POVs, and you're made to like understand the perspective and like the drive, like what's driving their motivations for like both of the POVs, but they're like conflicting, right? Like they're opposing sides. So now I'm like, dang, like I don't know what I want, how I want this to go, right? So like from that angle, I'm really like bought in. And I also started Once Upon a Time in Dollywood today by Ashley Jordan. I think, yeah, I am on page 40. I'm on page 40 in chapter 4. And this follows, dang, what is the girl's name? I suck with names. Eve. I was hesitant to say Eve because there was an Eva in the last book that I read, and I was like, that's not her name, that was the other book. It's Eve, okay? Eve, she is like grieving a loss. She's grieving a loss. She like abruptly leaves her fiance while at dinner with her family and decides to up and go to her grandma's cottage in Tennessee. She lives in New York. So she just decides to go to her grandma's cottage in Tennessee. Then we have Jamie, who just like his first chapter, he's closing out the scene of like a custody battle with his ex-girlfriend. I don't think they were married or anything. His ex-girlfriend over their son, who I think he's probably like 8, is as amicable as could be. Like, it's not any beef or whatever. She's I don't know, like kind of petty and like snarky, but like very subtly, like very subtly, like you would have to know that she was like cutting jabs at you. But he's just like, I'm over it, bro. Like, all I care about is my son. Like, just keep it about him and we cool. And I've just gotten to the part where Jamie and Eve have like met. So that's where I'm at. So far it's cool. I like her best friend Maya. She's super funny. Apparently, like, I listened to the author's note. I listened to some of this on the way to work today, and then I've been reading with my eyes since I was at the car. And then the author's note, at the beginning, she says that this book was very difficult for her to write, and you know, parts of the book made her cry. She low-key feels like parts of the book will make us cry. I feel like I will. Like, right now nothing's pulling at my heartstrings, but if that was the author's goal, like, I know you wanted me to cry, something's gonna hit. Even if I don't cry, it's gonna hit, right? And like, I love that in a book. And she said there's some funny moments. There are definitely funny moments. Maya makes it really funny. I like her. But yeah, I am reading this and Our Vicious Oaths on here, so I'll give you guys an update with something when it feels right. I don't need the sunglasses. I am really enjoying the books that I'm reading. Like, I'm equally enjoying them, and I'm like, it's like I get a few chapters into one, I'm like, ooh, but what's going on over here? It's like I'm changing the channel between like the stories that are happening, and they're both, it's different vibes for sure, but this is such a great combination. Probably the best dual book reading combination that I've ever had. And I'm reading Once Upon a Time in Dollywood by Ashley Jordan. This is her debut book. Apparently, like, she sneakily wrote this book. Like, this is outside of like her career and like what people, like the close people to her, know that she does. So she like kind of wrote this like quietly, silently, and then just popped up out of nowhere with a book, girl. And I love that so bad. There is a little bit of like push and pull as far as like her allowing herself to like open up to him, and then him doing the same thing, allowing himself to open up to her. And like, it's such a human experience. It is such a healing journey that we're seeing both of them go through. The timing and the pacing is done so well. Like, the apprehension is done so well, like the second guessing, the vulnerability, but still the communication is well. There's no like miscommunication happening here. If anything, there was a moment when Jamie I saw her phone ring while she was sleeping, and it was like a dude's name, which is her ex, and he's like, I wonder like what's going on there, you know, like, is he really her ex, or like, you know, is there some get back trying to happen or whatever? And eventually he asks her like, is your ex really your ex? Like, and it explains, or it kind of goes into like his inner thoughts about like, okay, he knows that if he asks, this is going to be like a grand display of vulnerability and even a little bit of insecurity, but that's real. Like, if you were to be in that type of situation where like you're still guarded because of your past, and then, you know, she's guarded because she's visibly entirely guarded because, you know, she's just coming off of something and like trying to grow through. She's escaped to this cabin in the middle of nowhere to overcome the things that she's going through. And like, you know, you see that happen and you're like, dang, like it gets in your head and you're like, you know, I wonder what's going on there, or like, I wonder what I don't know. And like, Ashley Jordan does such a beautiful job about writing and capturing the human experience, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. I'm about this much done, and I don't want it to be over. So I feel like that's kind of another reason why I'm not just reading this straight through. Like, I'm so enjoying this book, and when I want to take a break and I'm like, okay, I want to slow it down a little bit, I pick up Our Vicious Oaths. And I haven't read as much of this one, only read this much, but girl, it is popping off. It is popping off already. And I turned the camera on and I stopped the book when a part of it was kind of getting on my nerves. Not getting on my nerves, it was about to piss me off, because there's an asshole in this book. Of course there is, because what romantasy doesn't have an asshole? And you know, the asshole is saying things and like antagonizing and all of this stuff, and we're like, I'm yelling at the book. I'm literally yelling at the book, and I'm waiting for something to pop off, because we know something's going to pop off, because we saw the conversations happening that, hey, this is going to pop off. And I'm like, hello, what happened to the pop off? This is the perfect time for the pop off. So like, I'm absolutely like enjoying this reading experience. Like, this is like high energy, fast paced, like the palpitations are palpitating, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. But if you are wondering, which I'm sure you aren't, but if you were, I am sitting outside of what I like to call the nerd store. And I say nerd with all of the love. If you are new here, I say nerd with love, because I consider myself a nerd. I consider, whatever, you don't have to go into it. Nerd is a term of endearment. I'm sitting outside the nerd store because today is the release day of a new set. I believe it's set 10 for Disney Lorcana. And I'll put something on the screen somewhere so you know what I'm talking about. Or I will just show you when I get the goodies, when I get out of here. But it's a new set. and I'm gonna go get some cards. It's more so like a collector thing right now, and then once I'm done with school and I have a little bit more bandwidth and everything, then I feel like I would definitely want to come back. But I'm about to go in here and get some nerd cards, so I'll see if I can film a little something, or am I gonna be too like too like nervous about it? Like, we'll see, but at the worst, I will show you guys like the box and like the cards and stuff. Books. I would leave a timestamp somewhere before I even get into the rant. I'm gonna put the timestamp of where you can skip to if you have no desire whatsoever to listen to me actually entirely nerd out about comic books and Disney Lorcana TCGs. So you can come back at this time when you want to hear about books. Okay, I don't know what my hair is looking like right now. Kind of don't care. But I'm gonna show you guys what I got from the nerd store, and I was able to get some footage, so hopefully I'll put that in before this clip. But first up, before I get to the piece de resistance, I want to show you guys a comic book that I got. Now, I don't own any comic books. I have some graphic novels, but I don't have like an individual comic book. So this is my first comic book, you guys. But as you can see, it is the queen herself, Maleficent. She's not the queen, but she's my evil queen. And she's my favorite villain. And I peeked in the store, they had 4 or 5 different like covers, which I thought was really cool, because like as book girlies, you know, like we have our preference for what cover we like for our book. Like you want the traditionally published one, or you want like the indie published one, or you know what I mean, or the special edition covers. Like you get me on the covers. So the fact that like the same story, and it's the same story on the inside, I looked, which is just like, from a quick glance, it's just oh no it's not. I was about to say it's just like the regular story of like Maleficent's side of Sleeping Beauty or whatever, but it is not. This has something to do with the twins. I don't know, I'm gonna read it, but like I don't know anything about comic books. But I think it was really cool that you could pick like whatever cover you want and have the same story on the inside. So, and this was $5. Like if you're not new to comic books and you knew that comics were so freaking cheap compared to like novels, you're probably like, duh, Anita. But like, this is dangerous information. This is dangerous information for me to know, because I love Disney villains. I'm wearing a Disney, ironically, I'm wearing a Disney like princess shirt right now. It's got like the flowers for like all of the main princesses. So ironically, and I'm like raving about how much I love the villains, and Maleficent is my favorite. But yeah, I got that, and I'm really excited. I have no idea where I want to store this, because like I said, I don't have any comic books. You can't really like, you know, put them on a bookshelf because you're not going to see anything. It's paper, like it's floppy, so it's not gonna like stand up. I don't have I have no clue. I have no clue. If you are a comic book girly, how do you store your comic books? Because I fear I might be getting into it. So now I'll show you guys my cards. So this is called, the game is called Disney Lorcana. It's got like a shrink wrap on it. I guess I should open it. And what I have in my hands here is called a booster box. And a booster box is a box of packs. I think there's 24 packs in each of these. And there are 12 cards per pack. Now when I open it, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I've seen those before. I thought those were just for like retail. And they are, right? But this is the packaging. Ooh. This is the packaging. Hopefully it's focusing. There we go. And this is the packaging for this set. So this is set 10. They have a set come out, I think, every 2 or 3 months. So, and this box, full disclosure, I'm pretty sure it retails for like $140. I got a discount on it because I'm a freaking flyer at the gift store. I mean, at the nerd store, but I got a discount. But they're $140, girl, for one pop. And like, let me not even get into it, but yeah, they changed the cover art for each set because each set has like a different lore to the Lorcana story, and it features different franchises. So this one, the 3 franchises for this one are Gargoyles, something, is it DuckTales? I think DuckTales, and the Black Cauldron. Now that it's set 10, we're getting a little bit farther away from like the more common or more popular or universally popular Disney franchises, because it's set 10 and there's 3 franchises per set. So the first few sets, you know, you're gonna have your Cinderella, you're gonna have your Mickey Mouse, you're gonna have, you know, 101 Dalmatians, Snow White, you know, all those things. They had the second set had what is it, Princess and the Frog. Who they don't have, and I realized this like last week, is Pocahontas. And Pocahontas is my favorite princess, and there is no Pocahontas, and I'm like, what's going on here? And I'm mad at myself for not realizing that they haven't done Pocahontas. But anywho, so let me try to open this in the way, I think you open it like regular, and then you push this out. Yeah, you push this out, and then like this. So this is what you'll see like in a checkout sometimes, like at Barnes and Noble. They have these at Barnes and Noble. Now you can't buy the whole box like I just did from the nerd store, but you can buy packs. And a lot of times at stores like Barnes and Noble, for example, they only let you buy 2 of the same items from a franchise. So if you want to buy a booster pack, they'll only let you buy two of these, and these are like, I don't know, $5-6 each. But if you go to a nerd store, or more PC, if you go to a comic book store, you can buy the full box like this. I would not, if you're new, or you know, you've never played a TCG, which is a trading card game, like I haven't. Disney Lorcana is my first TCG that I've ever played or had an interest in, because it's Disney. I would not recommend going out and buying one of these. What I would recommend, I don't have any up here, is called a single player deck, or like a starter deck, and it comes with a deck already built, and you can play just like that, and it'll just give you a feel for the game. Don't go spend $140 on a box of random, it's literally random cards. But if you want to like collect, like that's more so what I do, like I was telling you guys, if you want to be a collector, then this is definitely the way to go, because it has more variety, and it is more bang for your buck than buying one pack at $6 versus getting a big one for $140 and a discount, hopefully, if you can. But anyways, child, so these 3 are gonna be like your, I don't know, headliners, like the 3 arts on the packages. So obviously this is Demona from Gargoyles. I've never watched Gargoyles. I don't know anything about her, but I did see a comic book of her when I was in the store. And then you have Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. I have a fondness for Beauty and the Beast. And then we got Daisy Duck. And Daisy Duck, she got some good cards in this game, man. She's got some good cards. So if you're a Disney fan and like you haven't heard of Disney Lorcana, and you're a nerd, okay, like, or you get into it. Look into it. I won't say get into it. Look into it, because it's so fun. It can be addictive. So I caution you. But I love it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna open up some of these cards, and there's different rarities of the cards, and you know, if you want to chase, they call them like chase cards, you can chase like a certain character or a certain version of the character or whatever. Look, comment down below. Do any of you guys play Disney Lorcana? if any of you guys play Disney Lorcana, I will give you the biggest virtual hug. Like, we're besties. First of all, you love books. Okay. Second of all, you love Disney and you love Disney Lorcana. We go together. We go together. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and open these boxes. I mean, these packs. There's 24 packs in here, and I'm just gonna make a mess out of my room and find somewhere to store them. Also, if you play Disney Lorcana or any TCG, or you collect any TCGs, how do you store them? Because my storage is a wreck. It is a wreck. It is very overwhelming to me. But yeah, anyways, this had absolutely nothing to do with books. Must be stopped. Also, if you guys are wondering, yes, I do have all of the books that I hauled in my most recent haul still sitting on the floor because I need to remajigger my bookshelves. The only reason why I haven't remajiggered my bookshelves is because there are over 30 books, and also because I want to film it for you guys, and I haven't had the energy to do that yet. So I will get to that hopefully this weekend. We have a long weekend. But this haul is partly courtesy of a little tiny human, and the other part of it is courtesy of your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber, Kayla from Kayla's Bookish Vibes. She posted today on Instagram, or I saw it on Instagram. She might have posted it elsewhere, but that Kirkland's, where's Kirkland's? Kirkland's had bookish things, and I commented under the picture and I said I need, and I meant it. So let's show you what I got. So, and this comes right in time because literally my last video I was like, where do you guys get your bookish merch? Nobody said Kirkland's, okay? Everybody said Etsy, but who would have thought? Like, I haven't been in Kirkland's in years, but baby. Okay, so first I got a hat. It says read more books. It is so adorable. It's a snapback. Get out of there. It's a snapback. They did have a pink one. Well, it had a pink brand instead of a blue one, and it said, I read books and it shows, or something like that. But I like the saying read more books more than I liked the saying I read books and it shows, or whatever. So I just got this guy. I didn't even try it on, honestly, but it's a snapback. I felt like it'll fit. It is sitting up pretty high. I wish it didn't have this like trucker situation. I don't know. I am one to wear my hats like backwards, so maybe I'll do that, but then you won't be able to see that I read more books. Like, I need you to get the message. So I don't know, we'll see about that. Then y'all know I'm a sucker for a blanket, and I have this one that is literally just covered with books. It's not gonna, but it's covered with books. So let's open it. The hat was, how much is a hat? $20. And the blanket, I think, was also $20. Yeah, the blanket's also $20. And what I liked about this is that it wasn't actual books that exist, because the chances of me liking every book that is going to be printed on a cup or piece of merch or whatever, like, unless it's 100% black owned authors, like, I'm probably not gonna be as well versed in like the fantasy books and like classics. Like, that's normally what's on there, like popular fantasy books and like classics, and those are things that I just don't read at this time. So I like that these are like faux books, but it's so cute. It's really soft as well. It's got a decent thickness to it. Like, if you're freezing, like, this isn't gonna do it, but this is a perfect like throw. And I was obviously imagining my reading chair, because where else is this gonna go? And it's super, super soft. So I'm gonna want to like wash it first so I can get my like fabric softener smell. But it's got flowers. It's really colorful. I like it. I'm not mad at that. Then I got a couple of candles. Unfortunately, they were out of the Bookish mugs. I wonder if I go online. It's not that deep. They're out of the Bookish mugs. I asked, I looked. They're like, if it ain't over there, we ain't got it. They had some tumblers, but I'm not a huge tumbler girly. So the one candle that I got is this like brown one. It says my day is booked. I don't know if you can see. It says my day is booked, and it says soothing vanilla suede and bright ginger enhanced soft rose tobacco in the warmth of pure amber. And this smells like if I had a bookstore, like I would have this going. Like this smells like, if you have ever been to Busboys and Poets in DC, I love that place. Like if I ever were to own like a bookish space, that would be the blueprint. Like I love Busboys and Poets. But I feel like this is giving like Busboys and Poets vibes. I love that. And then the other one that I have, I don't care so much for like this bright blue. Like this is totally not my aesthetic. But the name of the candle is Main Character Energy. Hopefully that's focusing. This one says pomegranate, sugared peach, and bloodberries swirl with vanilla bean, musk, and ambered woods. Girl, it's in silver on this like light blue paper. Like I can hardly read that. This smells like you're on vacation in Aruba. I'm using that example because that's the last place that I went that was like beachy, but not like necessarily tropically. It smells like that. Like you're on vacation, not tropically, but still like a lovely climate. And like this is what the hotel smells like. This is what the hotel soap smells like. Yeah, it's very fresh. Very fresh, but not fresh like super citrusy and crisp. Like it's not fresh in that way. And then I think it said something about no, the other one had rose. I smell like the fruitiness, but again, it's not like candy sweet. It's like a fresh fruitiness from like the berries and the pomegranate. Okay, hopefully I'm doing okay with describing the scents. And then I like that it has like a little library card on the side. That's super cute. So of course these will find their way onto my shelves. I have some candles already on there, but they're purely just decoration. I don't know if I will ever burn these, to be honest with you. But these were $10. They're $10 each. So yes, that's everything from Kirkland's. And then I got some crusty crust on my hat already. Then somebody said they wanted to go to Barnes & Noble. Well, they didn't say Barnes & Noble. She said bookstore. I'm gonna go to the bookstore. And I'm like, who am I to say no to the bookstore, right? So I wasn't planning on getting anything, but the books found me. They jumped in my arms, stole my credit card, and checked themselves out and jumped into my car and followed me home. So I got 2 books. Now one of them, I've never had this happen to me before. I might already have this I might already have this book, and it is Second Chance to Christmas by Jaquel J. I don't remember hauling this for you guys, so I feel like I probably didn't buy it. No, I didn't get this. I got a novel Christmas by Charity Shanae. That's what I got. I got a novel Christmas. I didn't get this one. I didn't get it last year. I had this on my Kindle, I think, and I never got around to reading it, so I offloaded it. But I'm into Jaquel J because I read Capone, and I love her storytelling. And just from like this tiny, like the first sentence on the back, I was intrigued. It says, being known as the daughter of the Sageport's town drunk, always left Faith Stone defending her mother and herself. I'm like, dang, so it's more than just a Christmas little cutesy loosey type of book. Like, it's gonna have some grit to it, and y'all know that's what I love. And then I got Eternal Ruin by Tigist Germa. I think that's how you say her name. I haven't read Immortal Dark. I did not get around to reading that during spooky season, but at this point, I don't care that it's not spooky season. That is an anticipated book for me. And this is very much like consuming the bookish space right now. And I have FOMO, even though I haven't read the first one. But again, like that one, I have a good feeling because it is dark academia and there's black vampires. I don't too much care about the black vampire situation because I'm not a vampire girly. But if you make them black, maybe I am. Like, I don't know. So this is the second book. It just came out on November 4th. And I have interest. I love the artwork. Oh, I didn't even pull this off because I am a dust jacket on girly reading my books. I literally never take them off. Also, she's freaking stunning. Is she Ethiopian? Yep. She's an Ethiopian writer based in Melbourne, Australia. I didn't know that. But she's stunning. If you don't know what Tigist looks like. She's stunning. Good for you, girl. For your books being so dang on hyped. Wow, it says sequel to the #1 New York Times bestseller, Immortal Dark. I didn't know it was #1. Not to be a #1. I hope this ends up being #1. I'm glad I bought it this week. So as far as I know, the sales that happen in the first week are the sales that contribute to like them being #1 on the bestseller list or whatever. So I feel really good that I purchased this right away, even though I don't intend on reading it right away, obviously, because I haven't read the first book. But I'm glad it jumped in my car and followed me home after stealing my credit card and everything like that. But that's all I have for my little haul, you guys. I'm so glad. Thank you, Kayla, for putting all of us on to the Bookish merch, because I was literally just talking about like wanting more because I don't have enough. Unfortunately, I didn't have any sweatshirts or whatever, but I did say that I want hats and stuff, and like I'm not mad at it. I feel like I look kind of crazy right now, but I'm gonna figure it out. Okay, I feel like I have like a mullet. Anywho, that's it for now. I will come back and update you guys with where I'm at on our Vicious Oaths and our Once Upon a Time in Dollywood. I think I'm gonna finish that one first because I'm just kind of chipping away. However, our Vicious Oaths is kicking up. That is such a fun book. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Guys, I don't even know how I wound up in this position. Okay, I'm at the foot of my bed with this book, pile of laundry that you guys are propped up on, and I am like into this book. I'm reading Our Vicious Oath by Nia Davenport, or any Davenport. I know she goes by Nia sometimes and N-E some other times, but I'm not sure like when the distinction is made, because I'm pretty sure it said Nia Davenport on Out of Body, which is a sci-fi. It's a YA sci-fi. And then it says N.E. Davenport on The Blood Gift and The Blood Trials. I'm pretty sure that's YA too. I haven't read that yet. If you guys know, that one has been on my TBR so many times and I just never got around to it. But this one is adult. I think that is adult, because why would it say author of The Blood Trial? I don't know. I'm not sure. But anyways. Oh, wait, hold on. The author of The Blood Gift duology and the YA novels Out of Body and Love Spells Trouble. Love Spells Trouble did say Nia. And these say as Nia. Girl, if I would have just read the back, it literally says on the back about N.E. Davenport. So N.E. is for her adult books. Nia is for her YA books. I'm glad that we could do that research together. Anywho, girl, I'm reading this book. This is the enemies to lovers that I'm here for, okay? And I feel like once, because there's still conflict, there's still, opposing sides, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I hate you because you spilled your coffee on me one day, whatever. Like their families, their lands, their kingdoms or whatever are like foes, you know what I mean? So this is like, decades long, if not longer, of like tension and like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like rivalry. Decades long of rivalry or whatever. And yeah, it's not just some light thing. Like they're but so like they're gonna have to like address that in the future. For the time being. Okay? Look, Nia, N-E, baby. She done did some stuff. But I like these characters, or I would say definitely like the male main character. He's definitely morally gray. Like, some would say that he's fueled by vengeance. Like, his ops would say that he's fueled and inspired and charged by vengeance. And I think that is definitely a huge part of it. That's like, why he started on this journey. But I feel like there's more to it. I don't know that it has been like laid out in that way, but I feel like there's more to it than just like, I want to avenge some people. You know what I mean? So I feel like he's still hurt by some stuff. So that's why like the morally gray thing comes about. Like, does it justify it? Like, no. And that's what the female main character is saying. Like, how could you be okay with this? How could you like just let these types of things happen? Or how could you have this mindset or whatever? And I could never, and I'm aligned with her because I haven't even been through what he's been through or whatever. I don't know. I love the morally gray characters. I love a good villain. The villain in this book is yet to be fully bared. I am on page 264, chapter 22. I just started this chapter. So I am pretty much smack dab in the middle of the book. But I'm liking the balance of like learning the characters and seeing the character development, and also like the plot is plotting as well. Like, I'm interested, like I said, I just need to know like where it is going to happen, because there's going to be a boom, right? Like, when the boom happens, I am going to be on the edge of my freaking seat, because I don't know what I want as a reader. Like, which way do I want it to go? Like, what do I want to see? Like, Nia is going to tell me when I get there, you know what I mean? So like, I'm excited. I'm so enjoying this book. I'm so enjoying it. And if you are wondering, I did finish Once Upon a Time in Dollywood. I have thoughts, but I'm going to save that for the end of the video after I finish this one. So stay tuned for my final thoughts on both of the books. I probably will come back maybe one or two more times about this one, but this was a good pair. This was a good pair because this one is like heartfelt and romance and like soft and thought-provoking, but still heart-wrenching, right? And this is angsty and it's fast-paced and it's I hate you, and then but also, it's fun. This is as much action as that I need. Okay, I'm not one for like super action-packed books, but this is cool. The action that's in this is cool. I'm here for it, and I think it's because I like villains and like the male main character being on this like path of vengeance, like Rage of Dragons. Like, I think that's why I'm best with that one, because that was a vengeance book. Like, I like vengeance. Okay, let me go.
I am like in tears. You can't tell like under my glasses, but
This girl, is this like my favorite book ever? Like I'm crying, like actually crying. I am enjoying this reading experience like so much more than any book of recent past. Oh, there it is. See? Okay. Happy tears. Like, I'm so happy, like, reading this book. It is so good. Like, it is so good. And I'm like, normally I don't read books like right away when they come out. But like this one was on my spirit. And I talk about that all the time. This book has been on my spirit, on my spirit. This is a favorite. This is going on the top shelf. I don't have no fantasy on my top shelf. I'm not even done. Okay? I'm not even done. It's going on the top shelf. This is my favorite fantasy. Like I'm claiming it. Like it is incredible. And it's a standalone. I need there to be a second one. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for it to be done. Like, I love this book. I'm in love with this book. I'm in love with these characters. If anything goes left, I will be sobbing. I'm crying happily right now. If anything goes left in this book, I promise I'm not gonna be well. Y'all ain't gonna hear from me. I'm gone off of YouTube. Okay, to be clear. But like, oh gosh, it's so good. It's so good. I don't want to stop. All right, I just had to say that. Like, I felt the tears coming and I was like, Anita, why are you crying? Like, over this beautiful, this is like, it's unrelated, like totally unrelated. But like the last book that I cried on, that was like, I'm overwhelmed with like a good feeling. Like, I'm so happy. I'm so relieved. I'm so like, happy, like I can't think of better words. Words are giving me was Mame. At the end of Mame, that's how I feel about this book right now. Like all right, I'm not making any sense. I'm gonna go, but I'll come back when something else is moving to me. I'm here to close out the video, guys, and I just want to say that the stars aligned because the two books that I read this week were the perfect balance. Like this is such a great combination if you are somebody who reads more than one book at a time. This one, Our Vicious Oaths by Annie Davenport, it is a romantasy, an adult romantasy. It is very spicy. It is enemies to lovers. It is, okay, yeah, it technically is enemies to lovers, but like I'm telling you, so much of the book is them being enemies. So like there's that. It is a story and a main character that is fueled by vengeance. Well, one of them, either way, is fueled by vengeance. And like I feel like the dedication that Annie Davenport says at the front is literally perfect for wrapping up the way this book made me feel. And I didn't even know that like I was one of these girlies, but like just because the book hit so good, like I can definitely identify as one of these girlies. So it says, this one is for all the Black fantasy readers, including myself, who've always loved an epic story with fae who are as beautiful as they are vicious. The fae are melanated in this book. And for the romance gang who goes feral over a morally gray, sometimes morally pitch black MMC who wears power like a second skin. I shamelessly wrote this one for us too. That's perfect. That's perfect because like I felt like she had me in mind. I feel like she was looking for the reactions that I was having in mind while she was writing these, and like it matched so well to like what I was craving for from this story without even knowing. Like I said, you never heard me say I was a fantasy girly. Never heard me say that because I'm not. Like, I have fantasy books. There are easily my like least touched genre. I feel like I've read more nonfiction than I've read fantasy. So, but the funny thing about it is this is her 5th book. Why have I read, this is the 3rd book of hers that I've read, and they're all fantasy. Like, am I like a fantasy? She is making me, her and Kaylin Barron make me a fantasy girly. Like, anything that's, and then the other 2 books, the Blood Gift, the Blood Gift and the Blood Trials, I have from her. And now that I know it's not YA and it is adult, and this is how baby girl does adult. I'm not going to commit to putting it on my TBR because I've done this a million times and I don't want to let myself down. I don't want to let y'all down. But it's in here because I had such a good time with this book. I adored it. I really haven't told you too much about what it is about. I do feel like the back kind of gives away a lot. Granted, it gives away a lot, but what it gives away, it happens in like the first 2 or 3 chapters. So I feel like it's fair to give away what's in the first 2 or 3. I would say like first 2 chapters. But still, like, it is a lot that it talks about back there. So I'm gonna try not to do that. But the female main character, Khadisha, is there's like a prophecy in like their 6 and 7 kingdoms that she is meant to bear the future like Hyperion king, or not Hyperion king, the future king of all the realms or whatever. And she will be the High Queen. So there is a betrothal associated with that prophecy, but she really doesn't have it in her heart to like see that through. Like, she wants to prove her worth beyond producing an heir and being a bride, you know what I mean? So, and that valid, okay. So there's that. And then that's the female main character. The male main character, his story is fueled by vengeance because he witnessed something while he was a child, and now that he's king over his like kingdom, he is ready to turn up because he's fueled by this vengeance. And then he crosses paths with Khadisha, and then things take off from there. And when I say they take off, baby. I could not blink in this book. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I read this. So I would cosplay. I don't cosplay. I would cosplay as Khadisha. She's a bad bee. She a bad bee. Malachi, y'all know I love a good antagonist. He's not antagonist. He's not a villain. He's just morally gray / morally black. But like, I love seeing the backstory and like the why and the how, and you know, even seeing him temper that, or characters like him temper that, right? Because they're like, if you ever played Dungeons and Dragons, I'm really showing my nerdismness with you guys now. If you ever played Dungeons and Dragons, they have like different alignments, and there's chaotic. What is it? It's chaotic and lawful. Okay, so they have chaotic neutral, chaotic good, chaotic evil. And then they have lawful, good, neutral, and evil, or whatever, as far as what motivates you and your actions and your goals and your dreams and your ambitions and stuff like that. Like, how are you motivated? I would say Malachi's alignment is, I would say is he chaotic? Yeah, I would say he's chaotic neutral. He's chaotic neutral. And I would say Khadisha is, I feel like she's more either lawful neutral or chaotic good? If you're familiar with these, comment down below what alignment do you think, and if you've read this, what alignment do you think Khadijah and Malachi are as far as their like ambitions and what drives them? Let me know. I'm very curious about this. All of my nerds, chime in the comments down below. But I think that their teamwork, their connection, and I'm not even just talking about like physical or whatever. I think like those different alignments and like the way that they approach everything being just at least a tiny bit different, just makes them a really fun pair to watch like unfold. I would watch like a whole Game of Thrones. If there's a Game of Thrones, and it's funny because it says 7 kingdoms. They talk about the six kingdoms and the 7 kingdoms like in Game of Thrones. But if there was a Game of Thrones show about this, I would eat it down. I would eat it freaking up. I go so hard. This is my favorite fantasy, my favorite romantasy that I have ever read. And like there is a little bit, there's like a little nugget about one of Khadijah's like homegirls and one of Malachi's homeboys that like there's like this angst between them, or no, it's angst from the girl, and like the dude is like being real like flirty and like, oh yeah, you like that girl, you feel me? Like it's like that, but like he's really not putting any stock behind it, and she's like, oh my god, just anybody but him, why he gotta be the one that's escorting us? Oh my god, like there's something there, and I would not be mad at a sequel. I haven't heard talks of a sequel, but I've heard this is a standalone. I'm actually wrecked that it's a standalone because I want more. Okay, I'm done talking about it. I can talk about that book so long. Like I loved it. No notes. No notes. My review is in the description box on Fable, Goodreads, and Storygraph. All right, then I have Once Upon a Time in Dollywood by Ashley Jordan. This was a different type of time. This is, it depends on the store. It depends on the store where they're gonna file this away. In Barnes & Noble, this was in the romance section. And then in my local indie bookstore, which I went to today, and I will talk about that in my next video. But the local indie bookstore, they had this in just fiction. And I could see both. Like it is way more than just a romance, but it's also a lot of romance for it to be considered just contemporary fiction. So I'm unsure of like where I would love for this to sit, you know what I mean? But this follows Eve, who has left her life and her home in New York City, and she's gone to write a play in her grandma's cabin, her late grandma's cabin. And then she meets Jamie, who is like a really nice guy who vacations, and he has a vacation home in Gatlinburg, but he lives in Nashville, and he's like coming down there on the weekends during the summer and stuff like that. And he sees her like kind of getting her stuff in the house, and he's like, hey, like, do you need any help? Do you need some groceries? Like, you know, I'm just gonna make sure that you're settled because this house has been vacant for a really long time. Like, I keep the yard and everything here, and I just make sure that nobody's trying to squat in here. So I've been taking care of the place. Let me know if you need anything. And she's all like, no, don't look at me, don't talk to me. He's like, all right, lady. But they keep like crossing paths, and of course they grow a connection and a friendship and more. And there's a lot that he is healing through and trying to grow from, and there's definitely a lot that she is, I would say, definitely running from, like her leaving New York and going to Gatlinburg. Yes, she needed to seclude herself and buckle down and write this play, but she also was not ready to face her life. And she wasn't ready or open to like making friends or anything beyond. So Jamie kind of like came out of nowhere, and you know, there's a lot about Eve's character that I love characters like Eve. Like it's such a human perspective on like what people go through. Like I love seeing healing. I love seeing them seek out help and lean on the people that love them, and you know, let those walls come down and be honest with themselves, give themselves grace. Like I love seeing that aspect of like stories like this, and I just think it was absolutely beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. I teared up on this one. Y'all saw me cry on it. Like, what is even happening? Like, these were so good. I think this one is up for a Goodreads award. I think this one, are they both? Are these both on a Goodreads award? I think this one is. This one is, because I was like 50% through it and I saw that it was up for an award, and I voted already because I already knew it was gonna be on the top shelf. But this was a really fun reading vlog for me, you guys. Like, I just can't stop smiling and like being so happy for myself that I got to experience those two books at the same time. Like, what are the odds that would just work out so nicely? If you have both of those books and they're on your radar and you want to read them, I would say if you read more than one book at a time, read those both. If you like similar things to me as far as reading styles and reading tastes, read them at the same time. Oh, I'm so full. I'm so fulfilled. That's why I had a hard time picking a book today. I was like, I don't need nothing else. Like, I don't need nothing. But yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and or a hype, whichever one you like. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and nerding out about all the books. And now that we're delving into other nerd territories, comment down below if you like, you're into that, or you're like, whoa. Let's keep it to the books, okay? And I'll do that. Y'all got to see everything. I was just, you know, I was trying to show y'all a little something. Open me up to something new. But if you like the other nerdy things, then definitely leave it down in the comments. And like I said, give the video a thumbs up and a hype so I'll know that, because there's way more where this came from. Okay, way more. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.